Hey chat, it's Caden, and
And it's me, Brendan.
yep, we got both of us here today. We're doing our ban list predictions, so we're gonna start off with my bans, then his, then my limits, then his, then my semi-limits, then his, then my unlimits, then his. We're just gonna go back and forth like that, so that way we can keep it a little simple. Alright, so first of all, starting with my bans, I think that Arch Nemesis Protoss is gonna get banned. This card's not fun to play against. It's really restrictive in the format. It can be used against virtually everything with the decks that are played. Like Sword
With
Soul
very
can,
little
yeah,
restrictions.
with very little restriction. Sword Soul can do this against like every attribute basically. Um,
Yep,
at some point in their combo, and the fact that it can't be destroyed by card effects and its 3,000 defense doesn't help you any
it's
at
incredibly
all.
hard to out as well as being strong. It's pretty much it may be the boss monster for Arch Nemesis, but it's a boss monster for Sword Soul as well.
Yeah. And then my other ban I think is going to be Imperial Order. I don't think that taking out like every spell is a good thing, especially considering we also have anti spell and that like Imperial Order is almost never going to be on its own. So like it having outs doesn't necessarily work when it's almost never by itself. Um,
Especially considering it's always going to be flanked by at least one negate usually.
yeah, yeah, and I mean it won the damn YCS, so like that's all I gotta say about it. So for his bans, first off,
I've got Arch Nemesis Protos for the same reasons as he's did. Also the fact that personally, I don't want Nemesis to get that bad of a rap just because one of their monsters is being abused.
and
Second up,
then yeah,
I've got Scythe because I don't think you should have the ability to lock entire decks out of their whole identity just off of a single card, pretty much.
I play PK, that's why it's not on my list.
And third, for the same reason as his, Io. Also, it's just not fun to fight.
Yep. To my limits, I have three things on here that are pretty much a wish list. The other two I think could happen, but aren't necessarily going to happen. So obviously for the wish list stuff, we've got Lunalite Tiger. I mean, come on, Konami. Tankies at 1. Give me Tiger to 1. Seems fair.
Smart.
Um, Harp Horror, so that way I can kick all my Orcust friends' asses just to prove that the deck's not good. And then the third hypothetical is Colossus. I want my son. I will play Nemesis Corridor, 3 copies of it in everything I play, just to summon Colossus. And then the two that I think might actually happen are Torn Scales, because PK is like on the cusp of being really, really good. With Grand Creators coming out with the Adventure Token set, it's going to be very strong meta. And then Recital
Definitely,
Starling,
definitely.
yeah, and then Recital Starling because like I feel like they're gonna hit the deck in some way, and it just felt like the most fair hit to me. And then so his limits, we've got a lot of
These,
stuff.
for my personal wants, I've got Block Dragon because I play at Emancipators. You can't really hate me for doing that. Give me back my big boy that gives me free materials. Lunalite Tigers, because I also used to play Lunalites just like him. Orcust Harp Horror, due to I think the deck does need a little bit of a kick to get it a little bit better, but at the same time, it wouldn't be too strong if it's just at 1. Here's one of my also Thunder Dragon Colossus because I like the card. I used to have an ulti of him, but I sold him a while back, so it really wouldn't give me any monetary gain. Uh, the cards that I'm seriously saying are Prank Kids Place. I personally think that Prank Kids, once the new hero tokens come out, will be incredibly strong due to, well, we've seen it in the OCG, and now that we have it coming pretty soon to the TCG, like the end of the month, right?
Something
Uh,
like that. I think
I
it's the
think being
27th.
able to limit what Prank Kids can do would be a little bit better. Like giving them one place will sometimes actively keep them from permanently getting an infinite chain block.
I think if I were going to hit Print Kids again, I would unhit Meow Meow Moo and hit Doodle Doo instead.
Which
Personally,
is
if
smart.
I were to hit the deck,
Yeah, it's
I'm
smart.
gonna
Both do
refresh
pretty
this
much the
page real
same
quick.
thing.
Right.
One adds a monster, one adds a spell.
Yeah,
And my other hit to one is Zeus. Personally, I think Zeus is too strong to have multiple copies. That's it for that.
yeah, we kind of disagree on the Zeus thing, because most only play it at 1. This was here as kind of an optional he had put in, being Norden, but I was like, I think this
Yeah.
card would be too broken. It's
I
also
put
super
Norden
poly
in
target.
because I missed the days when I used to summon him in Heroes off of Instant Fusion to revive my Shadow Mist to get a free card.
I'm gonna move you over to this side. So we're like,
Okay.
oh gosh. I'm really bad at this OBS, apparently. There, now you get to be squished, child.
Squished. Alright, so let's move on to the semis.
So my semi-limits, I've only got 2, and it's just bridging them up to 3. Red MD, it got its errata. There's no reason for it to stay at 1, but I also don't think they're going to put it straight to 3. And Scapegoat, I don't think is a problem anymore, really. Like, it's just really slow compared to what we have now, so I think it could come back to 3, but I'm putting it here for a bridge. That's really all I
Scapegoat
have
was
this
also
for.
recently put to 3 in the OCG, so
This is also
it
true.
does make sense.
So on to he's got some interesting takes here.
I put Salamangreat Circle because it's a hard once per turn, so you could technically make the argument of just loop it with your Link monster, but then you lose out the option of getting the other better spells and traps with it. But Salamangreat is on the cusp of being back into a high-performing competitive scenario. I think it just needs one more big push and giving it more access to their monsters, like with another circle and with the ability to just make a monster unaffected, would be it. And my other one is Miscellaneousaurus, because dinos are currently dead. Let's be honest.
He's the only person I know that says miscellaneous and not miscellaneous.
I do it to enrage you.
Alright, we're gonna have a little bit of a story
two.
time here real quick before we move on to our unlimits. Lunalite Kaleido Chick, he would always purposefully mispronounce it and say Lunalite.
Lunalite Keldeo Chick.
And eventually, it stuck with me and I said it for like a year straight without ever meaning to. Not once did I mean to. So anyway, on to unlimits. I've only got one here, and that's Joker. I think they should have put Joker to 3 last Banlist, but they didn't. So Triff, here you go. And then to
Moving
his.
on to me, I guess. I'm putting Etelli to 3, mainly because with the new Psychic type Punk deck coming out, they're gonna try to potentially push it, like back when they did for a couple other cards. They would put for other archetypes, they would push it to higher numbers. Like, wasn't it when they brought out Virtual World, they pushed it to 1? Right?
No, they pushed it to 2.
Pushed it to 2, and I think honestly, sure, a lot of decks do run it as a free level 3.
PKs run it sometimes. Virtual World runs it.
Yeah,
Punk runs it.
multiple decks run it, but I think it could be a. There's always room to have a very strong 3 of in the format. Speaking of which, but nearly the exact opposite, Skullcrobat Joker hasn't really done much since it was added back.
Unless your name is Triff.
Yeah, unless your name is Triff, he hasn't done much. It really could come back to 3, and like he said, I do think they could have just bypassed it straight to 3. And of course, the pick that everyone has to do for every video, Maxi to 3, because it's a 3 or none card. That's all I gotta say about it.
So for me, I don't think Maxi's gonna come back to the TCG because the TCG is a bunch of little bitches. No, but I don't think it's. I think it could potentially come back, but I don't think it would really do what we wanted to fix our format.
Also,
honestly,
I have not played in the actual TCG in the past 3 to 6-ish months due to me moving away from a place with a good locals.
Yeah, like basically his only playing
about an hour and a half drive to me.
Yeah, his only playing has basically been against me.
Online testing against him. Yep. That's how far I've been exposed to like Sword Soul and things like that.
I Protoss locked him 5 games in a row one time. Good shit, good shit. Protoss call
and
Earth
then
with
I
Monk on the field.
Goat.
Yep. We don't play Goat with him anymore. So yeah, overall, like, our ideas were similar-ish.
Similar, but we had some changes to each other's.
Yeah, basically. I feel like the biggest difference was our limit list.
Oh yeah. Well, also semi-limit, we had completely different cards.
Yeah, this is also true. I didn't even think about that. So yep, there's our there's that.
Yep. Here's it's pretty much just our predictions. Let's hope one of us is right on at least one front.
And
one of us and both of us are right on Tiger.
spread the word of our cubic Lord and Savior.
Please, have you met Nova?
Also, link to this cool ass Discord is gonna be in the description of this video
As well
for
as our
anyone who
Twitch.
wants to join. Yep, Twitch too. I haven't streamed there in a hot minute because my Wi-Fi is trash at this house because I'm visiting my mom. We'll get back
I'll
to that
likely be
either Wednesday or
streaming.
Thursday.
I'll likely be streaming on Monday-ish or something.
I'll stream like Wednesday, Thursday. I gotta don't even know if I'm gonna work on Monday because we're supposed to have a really bad snowstorm here, so we'll find out
Oh, cool.
how
It's
my
supposed to be
life
negative
works.
one on Monday.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 10 degrees here, but also 8 inches of snow, which is practically unheard of
Oh,
for this
we
place.
got that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I wish I could have had that like 2 weeks ago.
Oh
Alright,
wait,
well,
sorry, not negative one. It's
bye bye.
0. They updated it.